So building up to the Australia game, I thought I'd do something I haven't done for a while and pick my team to face Australia and see how close I come to Gatland, and then we can have a discussion and you can let me know if you think my team's good or who you would change. So let's get straight into it. So starting at the front, as always, we'll go with the front row, and I'm going with Gareth Thomas, Derry Lake, and Dylan Lewis to start with this one. We know Azarati and Henry Thomas are injured. If Henry Thomas was available, I would have gone for him, but he's not, so probably go for the next best option, and that's going to be Dylan Lewis. In the second rows, I'll go for Dav Jenkins, and then the other one was like a bit of a toss up. Wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I am going to go with Ben Carter and keep that bulk. And then the positions that were causing me the most trouble was six. So I'm going to go with obviously Wainwright at 8 and Rafael at 7. And then 6, I really didn't know what to do. And I was really close to going with Plumtree, but I'm actually going to go for Chinza on this one. I was also debating with putting Chinza in at second row, but I wanted Carter in there for that big size and physicality. And also, I wanted to bring Chinza into the team because I think he can offer something a bit more dynamic. Plumtree is, got plenty of promise, but still very raw. And Chinza, although he's only got 10 caps, he's been in and around the squad since about 2021 now, so he's a bit more experienced, and he's got that sort of experience within the camp, and he's had a good season, and I think he needs a run of games in the red jersey so we can actually see what he's made of. I don't know if 6 is his best position, but that's where I think he fits into this team. Hopefully it's going to be a bit more fast paced out in Australia, and his ability to just get around the park and blast rucks and stuff like that, I think that's going to be useful. Also, without giving too much away, I'm going to put Plumtree on the bench because I think he's got more ability to make an impact off the bench rather than Chunza, the style of play he is. So that's my pack. And then at 9, I'm going to stick with Ellis Bevan. I was very impressed with him in his first cap against South Africa. I thought his kicking was pretty good. There was some that were pretty contestable. He's got a bigger frame and he's got that left foot option, which Gatland obviously likes. And I think there's no other real scrum half that's put their hand up and said they deserve that opportunity. So why not give it to a youngster who took his opportunity and took it well in his first game? Obviously, then at 10, we have to stick with Costello. There's no real other option. I know a lot of people are giving him a hard time, but I think we just need to give him some patience and just get off his back. He's obviously devoid of any confidence at all. And while he's never or hasn't really made any good performances really for Wales in the opportunities he's had, he's generally been playing behind a pack going backwards, can't win a scrum, and no sort of cohesion outside him, constantly changing players and combinations and stuff like that. So let's give him an opportunity, and let's just lay off him a little bit. In the centres, this was quite a difficult one as well because I think we got some good options, but I did go with Ben Thomas and Mason Grady. Obviously Ben Thomas, it hasn't got a lot of experience, but I think he's been the form centre in Wales this season, and the difference between him at the beginning of the season to the end of the season was night and day. The run-in for the season, he was the best player at Cardiff, and that's saying a lot when you consider they've had players come through like Winnett and Mackenzie Martin and stuff like that. He's really impressed me, and I think he takes some of the pressure off Costello. He's got that distribution game, the kicking game, which not really many of the other centres that we have got like as good a kicking game as Ben Thomas, and his creativity. He makes space and he has time on the ball. Also, underrated carrier. He picks really good lines, and his defence has come on loads. So I'm a big fan, as you can probably tell. But I think he deserves an opportunity. If anyone does, it's him because he's really been quality at that position this season. And then outside him, we stick with Grady. I think the experiment of playing him at 12 didn't work. He looked a little bit lost, and he's got that familiarity already with playing a few games with Thomas at 12 and him at 13, where he looks a lot more comfortable. Not so, it's just we were giving him just these one-up runs and he just wasn't, he was just getting smashed. Richie Reese said it in on the Scrum 5, I think it was, that he's so much better when he's running wide, running at wide arcs and using his fend rather than, just smashing into a brick wall, which, and he was his coach for a long time, so I think he knows what is probably the best way to utilise him. On the wings then, we go with Rio Dyer, who had a poor game against South Africa, but he's probably, he's definitely still our best option, and he's got plenty of potential, and I still think there's more room to come of his growth for Dyer. And then Liam Williams on the other wing, who was pretty good coming back. You could see that he's still got the quality, and he's still got that just that game attitude that we definitely need, and a bit of experience as well. And then rounding off, Cam Winnett at fullback. A lot of people, I've heard quite a few rumblings that people don't really think that he's very good in attack. Again, I think it's the same thing as like Costello. His attack is really struggled because he's not really getting opportunities. There's nothing being created inside. Again, when he plays for Cardiff, he pops up in those wide channels. He distributes. He even comes in at first receiver at times and plays a bit there. So there's more to come from him. But he's so safe under the high ball. It's ridiculous. And then the bench, I'll go with Domachowski, Evan Lloyd, Archie Griffin, who's someone I've mentioned I want to see a bit more of, and then Matthew Screech, second row, Tane Plumtree. I'm actually going to go with, as much as it pains me, I'm going to leave Gareth Davis out and go with Kieran Hardy as scrum half cover, and then I'm actually going to go Eddie James and Josh Hathaway on the bench. I want to see Hathaway get on and see if he can, offer a little bit of a spark, because it's something we need. Obviously, lots means made of that we need the cap in, which I definitely think we do. See what comes of that. And then Eddie James, I think we need to just get as much experience into him as possible. I thought he was all right when he came on against South Africa, although he didn't really have a lot to do. But I think he's got a lot of potential, and I think he's going to be potentially a player for the future. And then if like an injury to Costello comes, you just move Ben Thomas into that position, then into 10, and James comes on at 12, and that's my sort of fix it for any injuries. Obviously Hathaway can cover the back three, also Thomas can cover fullback, so I think we can just cover all of the positions there. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I feel like that is a good team that can really challenge Australia. Really devoid of confidence at the moment, so that's going to be the issue, is getting some belief in the squad. But there is young players there, but we need to start winning, because these young players have played all season and only won a handful of games. Like, you look at the Cardiff youngsters, won 4 games all year. Scarlets players for 5 or 6 games. It's just not that good. So we've gone to the habit of just not winning. These players who played all the way through the Six Nations, they haven't won a game. So I did toss up with Owen Watkin, and like I said, I did. Sometimes I think I put Plumtree in, and then other times I'm putting Chinzer in. So that was the main debating points for me, and I'd like to know what you guys think of those particular selections. But I'll leave it with you, and I'll catch you on the next one, and the next one will be the Australia team, so keep an eye out.